Okay, welcome to Regular Girls. We're just going to jump on in, and we are joined by a very special guest, one of my best friends of all time, comedian, writer, short man, husband, father, Jason Duras.
Hello!
I told you to be careful.
I'm keeping the mic the same distance from my face as when we tested it.
Listen, we are joined by one of my best pals, and he's going to talk to us this week because Renee and I couldn't get our shit together. And that's
So,
just it. And by
I'm
us,
just a quick replacement.
not a quick replacement, a wonderful replacement.
I'm okay being a quick replacement.
No, I know. You were the first one that was like, okay, I'll be here. And I was like, that's the best. I brought you beer. You were like, I can't.
I'm fat.
I'm fat. I left my laptop in one place and my charger in another place, and it made recording very difficult. We have a short time frame these days.
Yeah, you're busy as can be.
And Renee is way busier, like lives on a plane. Can you imagine that life?
It'd be the greatest.
Can you imagine being like, oh, another plane ride?
I love hotels and I love planes and I could live in them forever. I think that's why I bought a condo. I'm like, I basically live in a hotel.
I'm flying every day. Well, I'm so glad that you wanted to be on this podcast. You had no idea what to expect, and I still think you don't.
I don't. But as I said that, I just remember this too. Like, I would live on a plane all the time because I think it'd be crazy. But as Stacey, actually,
yeah, you don't like flying, which is bizarre.
I'm a terrible flyer.
The worst. Like having sat beside you on quite a few plane rides, the stewardesses hate us.
Is
it stewardesses?
I think they love the flight attendants. I think loved us.
No, I don't think they did.
On all of them, they were very playful.
You kept going, oh, was this going to crash? I'm kidding. And then you're like, I'm not kidding.
It's true. We normally have to drink them. We have drank a plane out of alcohol one time.
Have done. Not just us. Like, I mean, we were all sort of.
It was a small plane, and there was a small group of us.
But we were determined. And I remember it was an early flight, and you and I thought we were the funniest ones there, doing a bit of a long bit in the air.
Oh, that plane! I wasn't even thinking about that plane trip, but you're 100% right.
And they were like, "Wow, you guys are up and ready to go early this morning."
That was years ago, and we're still developing that web series.
Still developing. Yeah, if you're listening to this and you've got some money to burn, I'm at the Stacey McG, and you're just at Jason Duras. No,
you've asked me this before. I don't know.
You don't know your Twitter handle.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not gonna promote it. That's for sure. We're just happy you're here.
It's either Jay Duras or Jason Duras. It's one or the other.
We'll figure it out.
From my end, I don't ever tag myself, so it's like your phone number. I don't know my own phone. Well, I guess I know my own phone number.
You should. You have a son.
He doesn't call me yet.
No, but people who watch him.
He never calls.
Stop.
Look at how red that's getting.
That's bad. That's not good. That doesn't mean the party started.
Well, then I'll go out.
Don't go out. Figure it out. Now, Jason, you and I did the Second City together.
Yes.
We wrote 2 shows together.
Correct.
And then after that, we wrote 2 more shows together on our own.
The two of us.
The 2 of us.
Yes. And all of them, very fun experiences and very fun times.
That's a lie. Because I
hate it every minute.
Yeah, I did yell at you quite a bit. But the reason I wanted to have you on Regular Girls is because you are very sensitive. And very accepting. And also, you have no idea about most of the things we talk about on this pod.
That's probably 100% true.
So I thought it would be nice for our listeners to have a male perspective on certain
You got
things.
the wrong person.
I know. Listen, we've had John on.
That's
Renee's
great.
John, just big wrestler guy. We've had Brendan on, smart sports guy. And now we got Jason Duras.
Cry in a corner.
Little body issue guy. Do you know anything about crystals?
Yes.
What do you know about them?
I know that crystal meth.
Okay, let's stop here. Absolutely not.
What I do know about crystals, I do know that they're supposed to have some sort of, each different type of crystal will have some sort of meaning or purpose behind.
Of course, that is the definition of crystals. But do you believe in them? Do you think that they work, or do you think that they are just expensive rocks?
I don't believe in them in the least.
You don't think they work at all?
100% I do not.
Okay, what about when I bought...
Does Natasha Boomer listen to this?
No, Natasha Boomer is a
I
friend
do
of
not
ours.
believe in them at all. They're a waste of time.
Okay, but what about when I bought my crystal for abundance and career success, and I instantly got a text and a job offer right after I bought it?
You feel like you got that job offer because you went and you bought a crystal.
No, I'm not saying that's the only reason. But
I
that's
would
crazy.
say, like, out of 100% of the reason, that's 0% of the reason.
I mean, I don't know how you could give that percentage. I mean, literally bought it, and then as I was leaving the crystal store, I got a job offer.
Well, I was going to say it's just like astrology signs and all the rest of it. But I did go to a palm reader when I was dating somebody who took me for my birthday to go.
And were they accurate?
It was scary how accurate they were.
Oh my God. Is it stuff still coming true?
Oh, this was years ago.
Okay. What did they say?
I don't know if you manifest stuff in yourself or whatever, because the things
That's
that they
the argument. That's the argument we had with our friend Jan, who said you manifest what these people say to you.
Well, because there is stuff too, like the demographics. So when you walk in and you're like, I was probably at the time in my 20s, and they're like, well, your grandparent is going to pass away soon. And then my grandfather did pass away like that summer. And I was
That's
like,
crazy.
Is it, or is that just like, you're in your 20s, there's a good chance of this? But that was not just one of it. Then they were like, oh, you're about to switch career paths, which I did not think at all at the time.
And then you did.
Well, that wasn't me. That was definitely not manifested by myself, because I was already taking classes at Second City and whatnot, and just like dabbling as a hobby.
But did you tell the palm reader that?
Not at all.
So then there you go.
I kept everything so close to my chest, because I was like, whatever I feed you, you are just going to like,
of course,
be like, here's the generalized thing that spells it out. So do I believe in crystals? No, but I also didn't believe in palm readers, and then I went to one. So maybe today when I leave here, I will go buy a crystal. But what if I buy, knowing my luck, I'll buy one that's, I'm like, oh, this one's for money. And then I'll walk out of the store and literally be like, oh no, I gave him the wrong one. That's the one for being broke. And that's what will happen.
Well, first of all, there isn't a crystal for a worse life.
Well, then they're already garbage.
Can you imagine going into
you can't have the yin without the yang. That's garbage.
So you mean can you imagine the saddest person going into a crystal shop and going, I got too much money. Do you have something that's just going to float some of this down the toilet?
It's not that. If you're saying that crystals are natural, they do things naturally in life to you, do you think that they're just everything in the world is good?
No, I just think, so I had my Reiki lady on, Sarah Shook from LA. So, and Jason will be moving to LA, so I'll set you up with her.
I won't go.
You should.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do it. She's really, really good. And so we've had her on the podcast talking about this stuff. And she says, wherever you stand on crystals, whether you believe in it or not, or you think that there's, a huge higher power involved in them, what it is essentially is just to keep you mindful. So it's like if you get a crystal that's for like abundance or career success, whenever you see it, you'll be like, you'll sort of shift your mind to get back on track. Or like if you have a rose quartz, which is for love or self-love, you're like, oh, I should be more like compassionate today, or open myself up to the possibility.
How real do we get in this podcast of yours?
You can get as real as you want. I mean, it's going out to people. People will hear it.
As you know.
Go on.
I've recently started going to someone.
Yeah. I talk about my therapy, if that's what you're alluding to.
That's what I'm alluding to. Which I was like, this is going to be a sham. And I feel like it sort of is.
Therapy is not a sham. Absolutely not.
I don't even feel bad if my therapist is listening, because I've told her.
Obviously, your therapist is listening. And next time, go in and plug the pod. Any new listener is a great listener.
Because I'm like, all I do is talk, and there's not like a list of like things to figure things out. It's just like,
because emotions are not a mathematical equation.
It's true. But I have run into like so many people, and I don't even run into that many people in my life, because it's mostly just I don't. But like, as I'm running into people now, everybody has said, without me prompting them or even letting them know what I'm doing, they're all like, yeah, you've really changed. You're really positive now.
See?
And stuff. So it's like, maybe there's something to all of this crap.
It's really funny because, as you know, I've been a full psychopath for many years. We've known each other for a very long time.
And been a psychopath the entire time.
Really intense, very loud, very quick to anger. But going to therapy has been crazy because it's like now I take a second and go, okay, well, let's consider what they're saying. Or if I don't,
Oh, I forgot even why I brought it up because I was talking about it, and now you've just brought me back to it.
let's go full circle.
You're right. It's just like with those stones when it's like, well, sorry, crystals.
Crystals. Yeah, I did wince a bit when you said stones.
But it's like
rocks.
if you're just constantly checking in with yourself, then that's a huge. That's what the change is. I think it's like
For sure.
Well, now I'm just hyper aware and of what's going on, and so it's like in my daily life when I'm like, oh yeah, this was the thing that makes me sad. It's like great, but I know that it's making me sad, so stop doing that.
I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, I guess we're just getting deep on this podcast, but we're going deep. I'm wondering if our listeners will like this. Please let me know. But no, I think that's really interesting. And when Sarah said that too, my Reiki lady, but it was like, yeah, you have to kind of like they're little reminders. But that's why I feel bad when people buy crystals and it's like $80. It's like go get like a $10 reminder.
Yeah, you want to talk.
spend
You don't
money
want to
on
go
this.
deep. It's just like my friend, who you know, Rob, just wears one around his neck all the time because he got one at like a music festival from a
Yeah.
lady that he's just like, oh, some witch lady gave me this, so I'm gonna wear it. But you know what else that I just realized?
What?
I mean, since that time, that friend has like broke his foot. He's had a pretty terrible time.
Yeah, but
I don't mind saying, and he would probably be okay with me saying it.
It's not like he put the crystal on and then
But maybe there are evil crystals. Maybe let's go back to that.
Well, maybe
he needs to take that off his neck.
I mean, maybe because it looks stupid.
I would tell him that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think there's such things as bad crystals. Okay. On that note, let's go talk about our first sponsor. What do you think about that?
I can't wait. I hope it's for crystals.
It's not.
So our first sponsor for today's podcast is Daily Burn. You know that Renee and I are massive, massive fans of Daily Burn. I was a big fan of Daily Burn even before they decided to jump on board the Regular Girls team. So if you are new to Daily Burn, let me tell you what it is. Daily Burn is the fitness program you can stick with and get results that last. And this is very, very true. They are the world's leading provider of on-demand video workout programs that you can do at home or anywhere with a connected device. So Daily Burn is super convenient. They have classes that range from 15 minutes, 20 minutes, hour long. It can fit anyone's schedule. We've talked about it on the pod before. I can't speak enough about it. It works for travelers, busy parents, people who just don't have enough time to make it to the gym, like myself. Daily Burn has thousands of classes for every level of athlete. They have everything that you could want. They have yoga, they have HIIT programming, which is high interval training, kickboxing, dance, which you know I love. So basically, guys, if you visit dailyburn.com/regular today, you can start a free 60-day trial. Let me repeat that. dailyburn.com/regular, and you get free 60-day trial. That's 2 months. That's dailyburn.com/regular. So now there are no more excuses. I know that a bunch of you guys have already started tweeting and Instagram messaging and letting us know that you have started your Daily Burn journey, and I love that. So what are you waiting for? You get free 60-day trial, and so do it. They have an amazing online community where you can share your fitness journey and connect with Daily Burn trainers, and it is really, really great. So again, that's dailyburn.com/regular, and get your free 60-day trial. Okay, bye.
We're back. What did you think about that? That was a good little break, huh?
Yeah, you're really good at that.
What? Ads?
Yeah, like
Sponsors?
chatting about
Sponsors?
really making it.
Listen, they've been great to
Personal
us.
to you.
They've been lovely to us. Support this support, you know?
You have called me on occasions and been like, we got a new sponsor. I tried the stuff, and you've been like, this is amazing.
Sometimes I am.
I don't want to bring up specific products.
Well,
I don't know how that
we can
works,
bring it
but-
up later, but no, I have turned into a bit of a commercial for certain products, and it's people are like, "What's happening to you?" But Jason did check in while we were doing our lovely sponsor break, and was like, should I have more jokes in here? And I was like, explaining to him that this is a podcast where we just sort of shoot the shit and break stuff down, and you thought it was a full comedy hour that you had to perform for us. And now you're like cuddling on the couch, and now you're getting all leaning in.
I needed I need some sort of like warm beverage in a mug or something to be.
Well, listen, I mean, that can be acquired. I also love how you're like, what is this even? And then you were just like, so I think I'm changing in therapy. There's something about giving someone a mic and they're like, you just nestle in and you go, oh. But I feel like we are changing. I'm proud of us.
But like, you know me enough to be like, I'm pretty much an open book.
Me too. And that's a problem for both of us.
Yeah. I mean, like, especially like, yo, you want to know anything about me? A few drinks in, and I will tell you. I will tell you my social insurance number.
Absolutely.
I will tell you.
Tell you anything.
Anything.
I had a few beers last night, and then at work there was a bunch of chicken wings, and let me tell you.
Oh God.
I thought it was a competition.
Fast or how many? Both. And just like talking about life and being like, oh, we never get real anymore. Just eating. I got Jason a beer and now he's nervous. He's going to crack it and you're going to hear it. Here we go. Oop, the sweet sound of a fun afternoon. Hello.
So what I'd like to also talk to you about is, are you into conspiracy theories?
Yes, I am.
Do you believe them?
I'm not like a conspiracy theorist. Like, it's not like something that I go out of my way to do, but I definitely believe we're being blinded in a lot of ways on a lot of things because there's purpose and motive to it and everything. Like, why would we not be?
Listen, I am easily convinced by most and or all conspiracy theories. There's some that are like crazy. I can't get behind the lizard people thing.
I knew you were going to say lizard people. I don't know why.
That's a stretch. But can I easily be convinced that the moon landing was faked? Absolutely.
But I do believe, because it's also like, because there's people in power, and these people that have power will always want to have power. Right. So I believe in some of these things where it's like, they'll do anything to keep people distracted and whatever, just to keep the parody. Like, I was with my wife the other day, and I was a little out of it.
Yep, go on.
But I had to not explain to her because that's not what I was doing. But like, I was like, hey, like in the olden days when they had like castles.
Yeah.
And then there was like surrounded were the peasants, and it was blatant. I'm like, those people know they were peasants? Of course they knew, but like, we're still peasants now.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, Meghan Markle.
Yeah, because it's not like,
yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Well,
it made
I
sense
lost you a bit too, but I'm eager and excited to get back on the same page. But it's
like, keep us blinded to things.
For sure.
So
I believe
like the
that.
distraction is always out there, and the media is like too stupid now. So I believe in conspiracy theories in the sense of like, if you were to tell me that Donald Trump was all planned by, say, people that were in power in North America, whatever it is, the Illuminati. It's the same way like religion. Do you believe in God? I don't know, but I believe there's something going on. Like, whatever. So it's like, there's someone being like, Donald Trump is just whoever Donald Trump's working for, and essentially was also. It's the same corporation. I don't know. Now I'm sounding stupid. This is why I hate going down conspiracy theories.
Well, I mean, but I agree with you. It's like it's like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle getting. Also, isn't it funny to know that we are going to have a princess named Meghan? Anyways, but they're getting married and they're allowing like the public to come in a bit and watch the wedding. Like, it's like so very much like peasants coming in to watch the.
But yeah, because that's always been done. Like, wasn't the Princess Di wedding like the biggest television event of all time?
To everyone. But it's like, if we don't think that that's being curated, and if we don't think that that's, I mean, it's a small example of that. But it's like, of course, like that's why I'm like, okay, Bill Clinton has been like, there are aliens. Like, he's like, I've seen the documents.
If Bill Clinton said it, Bill Clinton could tell me whatever, and I'd be like, I believe you.
Play that sax and tell me about the aliens, buddy. But it's like,
hey, there's aliens. Damn.
Bill. But yeah, because I was talking about it at work and just like dipping a toe just to see if anyone else was like into conspiracy theories, and everyone's like was just like, yeah, I guess. But I'm like, but don't you think the moon landing was fake? What about the sea rock? Like, that rock had the sea on it.
Don't know what you're talking about, but if you're talking about the moon landing stuff,
yeah,
there's 100 things that prove that it didn't happen, even though
for sure
I still believe that
no stars. You can see a like stage light in one of the helmets. The fact that like the flag was like floating.
Well, the one that sold it to me was like, which I shouldn't say sold it to me, because like Do I believe there was a moon landing? I would like to think so. We all have to live in a reality where we believe in stuff. And I'm sure there's like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think people live in what actual reality is, but we all just perceive things the way we do. So the conspiracy theory, though, they said, like right now, we had technical problems even setting up for this podcast.
Sure.
Because that's technical stuff is so hard to work with.
Right.
And we've had like, even in like the 90s, you could be like, oh no, we're interrupted. Things are getting screwed up on television. Yet in the 60s, we're supposed to believe that there was a live feed from the moon and it went absolutely perfect and absolutely clear. I was like, yeah, that sells me a little bit.
That it was real.
That it wasn't. If there was ever a chance that it wasn't, I was like, it was hard enough. Like people didn't, in the 60s, it's like technology was so new.
The moon looks like a soundstage.
Yeah.
For sure.
Totally.
We sound like weirdos, but it's like, I don't know. I just get so easily convinced. And it's like also because like, and then there was also one we've covered where it was Elvis is still alive because there's that photo floating around of him in Graceland in like the 70s.
Alive.
Have you seen that photo?
No.
I'll have to, I'll pull it up while we're,
but you said in
talking.
The 70s?
It's like,
he died in 77.
Wow. Okay. Friggin' Wikipedia. Let me get the photo of Elvis.
I only know that because I know someone that was born in 77, and I was like, what if you're the reincarnation of Elvis?
Well, remember that there was a guy, there was like a groundskeeper from Graceland, and they were like, that's him. They're like, that's Elvis.
That I'm like, nah, man.
Okay, look. Here's this photo. So this is the photo that popped up. I'm now showing Jason the photo, and I'll post it as our image for the
That's
podcast.
As believable as any Bigfoot photo, and it's as in the same resolution as any Bigfoot
but think
photo
about
ever.
it. No, but think about it. How could they have photoshopped that back in the day?
Plus, have you ever been to Graceland?
No.
How do you know that's Graceland? That just looks like a screen door in a trailer.
No, because this is a crop photo. Because like I'll find a bigger version of it, but it's like someone just snapped it, and they're like, that's for sure Elvis.
Oh, and there's all these pictures of like Elvis alive, and it looks like it's David Letterman.
It's not David Letterman. I'll have to find it. They say this guy's Elvis. This blurry guy.
No. Why?
I don't know. Listen,
that guy looks nothing like him. My uncle looks more like that guy.
I don't know. They just say. I don't know.
Oh, they're keeping us down.
I mean, I don't know why he would fake his own death. I mean, there's theories that Elvis... Oh, here's like the bigger... This is the photo. So this is like the big photo from like a building, and he was just in there. And I feel like...
You know why people think that looks like him? Just because it has the same haircut. Like...
Yes, but think about it. Like
who wouldn't change their haircut in a decade? Well, maybe me. I think I've had the same haircut for like my whole life.
I mean, you have, but but they're saying that he didn't want to, like, he didn't want to face like not being popular or whatever the case was.
I get all that, but then it's like
I don't think anyone would really want to fake their own death. It's like Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman would be the most believable of me, only because he did things during his life that was like, hey, life's a stage and I'm going to play some weird pranks on you guys.
But also Andy Kaufman, like, also fundamentally loved attention. So you're going to do a prank or you're going to do a bit that removes you from attention entirely?
It depends.
Doubt it.
Maybe he's somebody else.
I mean...
Maybe he's Jim Carrey.
It's like when you meet people.
He's not.
No, I have to watch that doc. It's like when you meet people. Like I've met a few
You'll
people.
either love or hate that doc immediately.
I know. I don't like Jim Carrey now.
It's not that. It's just like
he's gone full crazy.
Are you like into people that are like, hey, I'm in a movie and I'm going to engulf myself in this to the point of like,
I don't like it.
You're going to hate this documentary.
Don't you think, like, as an actor? And listen, I use that term for both of us quite loosely, but you have to be good at it. It's all very musical. But I think acting is pretty. I mean, people are doctors, and people like build homes, and people like operate on tiny little hearts. Like acting's not hard. You show up, you get pampered all day, you get paid so much money to go, coffee. Like, what are you, like, you know what I mean?
I do, but I understand, like, there's also, like, if you were in a multi-million-dollar movie, the pressure and, like, the the want to be so engulfed
think-
into your character that I would also be like, you do have to kind of switch a switch and be like, I'm this person now for the next like however long the shoot goes.
Honestly, here's the thing. So let's just say we got casted on like an Avengers movie.
Sure, and if people want to, you can reach me at either Jada Ross or at Jason DeRoss.
And for me, it's at the Stacey McGee, and I'm willing to stop eating for it. But so let's just say we both get cast. So we're gonna get physical. We're gonna get personal trainers. Sick.
No props.
They're gonna work us out. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm still gonna sneak pizza.
Yeah, skinny pizza.
Yeah,
make me skinny pizza. But then we're also gonna have food. Like our diet, food will just show up and we'll eat it.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yes.
The studio's going to pay for that.
Yes.
And then we're going to go on set. We're going to have our own trailer. We were going to have a personal PA, personal assistant, where we go, I want a smoothie. And then they go, absolutely, Mr. DeRoss. And then all you have to do is hang out all day, get millions of dollars, and then just be like, not today.
But everything that you've brought up about like being an actor and being in a large production on set is just about body issue stuff. It's like, I'll have a personal trainer. My food will be easy.
But
like, how hard is life at that point?
Oh.
But like, what about the actual part and like breaking down who you're going to be in front of a camera?
Okay,
when they say
imagine.
go?
Okay, first of all, I love that we went from Is Elvis Dead to when we're on an Avengers movie.
It's coming.
Yeah.
They're
Regular girls. People are going to be like, what's happening? What is this episode?
I'm sorry if I'm destroying this for you guys.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great. You want to know the truth? Welcome, Jason Ross. No, but I think, okay, let's just say you're friends with Chris Evans or like Chris Pratt, who I talk about on this podcast all the time. And I'm going to transition about Chris Pratt after this point too.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, me too. So, okay, let's just say Chris Pratt is doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
And you're friends with him. And you guys are going out for a drink. You think you're going to care when he sits down and goes, I'm unpacking my Guardians of the Galaxy character. And man, it's layered. A lot of nuance in this. I'd be like, shut your mouth.
No, but I'm saying it gets to the point where I expect him to sit down if he's in the middle of shooting it and act like that character even a little bit.
That character
down.
is himself.
Yes.
Unless you're like,
I don't know him, but I'm
Here's the
sure it looks like it's a magnified version of himself
obviously,
in some way, shape, or form.
The Oscars just happened, and like obviously there's amazing performances that you're like, that like you have to be obviously talented. I'm just saying for someone to be like, it is just the
I just
hardest.
watched 3 Billboards.
Yeah, did you like it?
I loved it.
Frances McDormand.
But I'll tell you this: are we allowed to put spoilers on this podcast?
Oh yeah. So we'll just say spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I thought for real. I was like, is this possibly the coolest origin story ever to a superhero movie?
Oh wow, cool.
Because that's what it is, right? Like
I haven't seen it.
Oh, then I've already destroyed it for you. Well, I haven't said enough to make you think this is what. But I won't talk about it anymore.
Here's the thing. I don't. I love spoilers. It's not going to affect. Like I knew.
Oh no, it's a spoiler.
I don't even understand what you've said to me about the movie, so maybe
that's
we'll
what I mean.
carry
If
on.
I keep talking, then I'll
get it.
you. But what I'm saying is this: like there are characters in it. So this won't spoil it, but like they're literally reading graphic novels and stuff during the thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, well that's kind of like a touch point, maybe.
Oh, I get.
But
what
then
you're saying.
as the story goes on, at the not at the very end, but like after it's over, you're like, oh, this could be an origin story for.
Really?
A superhero or 2 superheroes or 3 superheroes. I'm not going to spoil things for you.
Yeah, no, I'm going to watch it. Her speech was great last night, and I love Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
He's such a smoke show, and he's got like this hot wife or girl partner or whatever.
Yeah.
She's so amazing. She's from Talladega Nights.
Love that.
I'm sure she loves being described with that movie. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, let's keep this conversation going, but how about I talk about a different sponsor?
Okay.
Is that exciting to you?
Woo! I can't yell because I keep making this mic go hot like that. So
Hot mic, hot sponsor.
I'm stoked about a sponsor.
Great. We'll be right back.
Our next sponsor is another huge pal here at Regular Girls, and it is Yoga Glow. You know that I have been using Yoga Glow forever. I was using it while I was in LA, and it is incredibly amazing. Yoga Glow is an online yoga and meditation service. It's an on-demand service that you can literally do anywhere. They have thousands of classes at all levels with amazing teachers, and you get unlimited access for just $18 per month. It's bananas. As you know, Renee and I talk about working out all the time, and finding the time to do it is always impossible. And I know that yoga can be super, super expensive and super intimidating. That's why I love Yoga Glow. I do it in my gross pajamas in my house. It's incredible. So Yoga Glow has been an amazing way to sort of dip my toe in various yoga routines. I've tried Ashtanga, Kundalini, I've done specialty classes for headstands, and it's been really, really amazing. It's super versatile. You can literally do it anywhere. All you need is a connected device, your laptop, your phone. It's super, super easy to use and super easy to navigate. We all know the benefits from yoga. You get increased flexibility, better breathing, you sleep better. So this is a great opportunity for you listeners. You need to try Yoga Glow. It is the only place for you guys to try online yoga and meditation. So get your first 2 weeks of Yoga Glow free when you sign up on yogaglow.com/regular. That is yogaglow.com/regular. That's yoga, GLO.com/regular. And you get 2 free weeks of yoga. We know that yoga is expensive, and here at Yoga Glow, you get to do as many classes as you want for $18 per month. That's less than a single class at a yoga studio. So run, do not walk to Yoga Glow. Go online, use our code, and get 2 free weeks. And a huge thanks to Yoga Glow for sponsoring us here at at Regular Girls. Imagine our name was Yoga Glow. Oh, who would we be? So thanks, Yoga Glow, and support Yoga Glow. They're amazing.
So we're back. That
We're
was
back.
fun.
I'm red again.
No, you can be red a little bit, but not red a whole time.
Great.
So I wanted to talk to you about it because I feel like the thing that brought us together as friends was our body issues.
Possibly.
Possibly. What else could it have been?
I mean, we did write a 10-minute scene that show about being overweight. So
Yeah.
even though you
was not. Oh, looking back, 26, 7-year-old Stacey, just so clueless. But we also got to eat during the show, which was great. But I wanted to talk to you about something that I talk about often, and I like to bring this up with any guest that comes to Regular Girls, and I feel like I'm manifesting, I am going to meet Chris Pratt one day, because I just talk about him too much, and he's going to fall in love with me. It's undeniable. But then he's going to hear this podcast, and then he'll be like, wow, you're a psychopath. But here's my thing. I miss Fat Pratt. I don't want the skinny Pratt. I want Fat Pratt. Where do you sit on it as a big fan of Chris Pratt as well?
I would say for sure, like, he's lovable all around. You're talking about Parks and Rec, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, that's who I want.
Of course. Very lovely guy. But, like, you know, like, I don't feel like his charm has went away. I forget, was it the commercials during the Super Bowl? Those were great, and they were like where Chris Pratt was like, "Do you know which ones I'm talking about?"
No, I'll have to watch it.
It's a really funny premise. He basically, I'm going to get this wrong, but the idea is there. It's a series of commercials where the first one he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be on this. I'm going to be in this awesome commercial. It's going to be national or whatever." So he's talking to his friends about whatever, and then he finds out that he's a background actor. But then they show, like, during the Super Bowl, they had different commercials, but you'd see him in the background just being, like, hanging out, but acting poorly as you possibly could in a background actor. And it was awesome because you're just like, what is this Trident commercial? Oh, wait, that's Chris Pratt in the background. This is a Trident commercial. It's the one that's... I don't even remember who it was originally, but...
I got to watch these.
Chris Pratt's funny. He's funny dude.
I watched, and I was saying this to Renee, I watched like a 10-minute blooper reel of just Chris Pratt from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And I was describing it. Have you ever done this? Have you ever gone down the blooper?
Not done the Chris Pratt
blooper.
hole.
Do you ever go down like the blooper hole?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be curious if you agree. Whereas I've described watching bloopers because I love watching them.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, when you're like having sexy times, and then all of a sudden when sexy times comes to an end.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden you're like, nothing's sexy anymore. You're like, don't touch me, get away from me. What have we been doing? I feel like when I watch bloopers for a long time, all of a sudden I just kind of come out of the haze and I'm like, just feel dirty. Like, what have I been doing? Just watching Tim Allen mess up a line on Home Improvement. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, that happens to me with if I go down to like one of these fail army sort of holes.
Oh
or
my
something.
God.
Because then you see something that really happened, you're like, that guy's probably dead. I gotta stop.
Yeah, what have I been watching?
I just watched a snuff video. It feels like
No, Jesus. Terrible. Don't look that up if you don't know what that means.
it goes
But-
from like a little
No,
tiny
stop.
3-year-old girl,
No, absolutely
missing
not.
a pinata and hitting her father in the crotch, and he goes, "Oh!" And you're like, "Ah, that's kind of
Be
cute."
careful now.
But then it can go to like places that I'm not going to mention on this podcast.
It's
in like a
scary.
heartbeat, and you're like, "What? How did I get here?"
The internet is a scary place, but it is like, yeah, blooper reels are so embarrassing, but so indulgent, and I love them. And there's this one of Chris Pratt where it's just like all of his antics on set. I loved every minute of it. I was smiling watching it. We'll
This
watch
is
it
why.
afterwards.
So, because bloopers can go good, and sometimes they're not so good, and it's because when you see those ones that are a little more like, if I was on set and I was like a part of the cast, you'd be like, "This is great" because it's really inside, and
Right.
you just see them messing up lines, and you're like, "Okay," but then they're like, "Oh, I messed that line up," and that's all the blooper reel is. That's no good. But you watched the Chris Pratt one, and you talked about pranks. Seeing stuff like that happens behind the scene and funny stuff and like that kind of stuff's awesome bloopers.
No, there's no pranks. It's him in front of the camera farting so loud, and then he goes, "I literally pooped my pants." That's one of them.
But that's fine. Not a prank, but it's not just him going. Today we're going. Oh, I can't get this line, guys. I can't get
No,
this
it's not
line.
that.
It's not
him.
that. And
Well,
those
'cause
ones,
I feel like Parks and Rec was very. I think they improvised a little bit too.
for sure. I bet.
There's okay. I'm going to show you this after we finish this pod. But there is a part where he throws something like just as a joke, like tosses it and just destroys a wall, and then goes to do a pratfall and breaks a very expensive computer. But because he's so likable, they're like, "Chris."
Meanwhile, the set designer's like, "Oh, I'm gonna murder that."
Yeah, just so angry. And he's like, "Sorry, Denise." And she's like, "No problem, Chris." But he's so cute to me. And now that he's like all thin, he probably doesn't drink beer and it's probably very like, you know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't know.
You think he's cool now?
I've never met the man, but yeah, for sure he has that persona that's like, that guy's great. That's what.
Here's the thing. When I meet him and he falls in love with me, this podcast will have to end and any remnants will have to be destroyed.
Well, here's your problem with like, careful what you wish for, because you talked about. I think we talked about this either on or off the mic about like men.
That's going to be our new podcast, on or off the mic. You have to guess. Did we forget to stop recording or did we fully intend? Up to you on or off the mic. We just keep it real here, on or off the mic.
Yeah. But here's what I was going to say. You're talking about manifesting things, and you're like,
Yes.
I'm going to manifest Chris
Yeah.
Pratt falling in love with me.
Yeah.
Now, you could possibly do that,
Yeah.
but there are also probably a million, at least, men and women in
Yeah.
North America who
Yeah.
are trying to manifest the same thing.
No, I don't believe you.
No, it's Chris Pratt's a lovable guy. He's a popular celebrity. Why are you making me go so red now?
I'm not making you. You are going so red. Sorry, guys. Just adjusting here.
But what I'm saying is, great.
What?
So if that's the truth, and you can manifest somebody to be like, oh, I love this person. What if all of a sudden Chris Pratt really falls in love, but he's going to be so hard because he's going to be in love with a million people at once.
No.
And
I'm
now it's going to
telling
be like,
you, no,
oh,
it's because
you're
he's
making his
funny.
life so hard because
Right.
he has going to be in love, true love with a million people on the planet.
Also, isn't it crazy that we are talking about him in this not intense way, but in a way that maybe we should be thinking about other things like taxes or just like getting better lives. But
I got to do my taxes.
yeah, but like he's just carrying on in his rich world. There's like little peasants talking about Chris Pratt that now he's thin, but he should be a little bigger. Or how good he is in this blooper reel on YouTube. Like, okay, but here's another question. I like to ask this. Who, you know, like when you see celebrities and you see them on TV or whatever, and you're like, I could be friends with that person. Like that person would be my friend. And I know that.
Sure.
So we've had this conversation on the pod. I'd be curious, and you're not good with celebrities. You said that out the gate, but I'd be curious to know who you think celebrity wise would be like, oh, they would be my friend. Like that would be my vibe. Cause that's why I like Chris Pratt. Cause I'm like, I think we
You'd
would,
hang out and have a good time.
Yeah,
But
I
you
think-
also want to fall in love with him.
yeah, fall in love. No, but I think like I'm funny enough to sort of like, or can kind of go, hang out.
I feel like there's a lot of people like that because a part of being a celebrity is like I like watching that person. I'm engaged with that person.
But who do you think on a social level you'd be like, oh, they would be my friend?
Does Sam Jones count?
Isn't he dead?
No,
I'm thinking Sam Shepard.
Yeah.
Who's Sam Jones?
That's the whole thing. Like, celebrity's sort of weird, but he's a podcast guy and he interviews celebrities.
Okay, I'll take it.
But no, then how about like
Paul Scheer from the league?
Well, the league's great, and all those guys are great.
Except for that one guy who had a bit of a...
who I didn't even... Oh, the guy that was like, I was in the building or whatever? Yeah, well...
Okay, but who do you think you'd be friends with?
I feel like I should just think of someone off the top because I could take forever doing this.
Well, I mean, I can yammer on while you think about it.
Yeah. Okay, yammers.
Because I also like yammers. I also like to play the game, which no one really plays with me, which is what celebrity, like an embarrassing celebrity that you would sleep with. I know the amount of YouTube holes I've gone down. Well, I'm for sure going to sleep with David Spade.
But that's true. You do want to sleep with David Spade.
I don't. No.
You've mentioned it many times.
No. I have said to you that
now you're going to regret bringing me on here.
Yeah,
you've mentioned it many times.
No, I don't want to actively, but I'm telling you that I know.
Well, mine's Judge Judy.
No, you just love and respect her.
And because I love and respect her,
you will sleep with her.
Well,
even
if
judges
she was like,
need love.
Yeah, and she's newly divorced.
She got divorced?
That's
I wonder if she's going to have to pay him out.
She makes so much money. She makes more money than anybody on the planet, so she's good.
I mean, it's well deserved. I love that show, but not as much as you. You watch it every day. But I would say like David Spade is so
that's
likable.
That's a guilty pleasure of...
It's David Spade. But because like I watch him like on Ellen. If I know he's going to be on Ellen and I'll see it on YouTube, like I'll watch his interview. He's so funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's pretty funny.
Kimmel, he's so funny on Kimmel. Like, would I want to go see him do stand up? I'd probably be sad. Yeah. Probably wouldn't be great. Although I also do
Kyle Mooney.
No, he's too hipster.
I don't mean like whatever. I mean like I'd have a fun time hanging out with him. I'm giving you my answer now that you've yammered on.
Yeah. Kyle Mooney. That's a good call.
Would be fun.
Beck Bennett.
Yeah, I think that crew would have been really fun, obviously, to hang out with.
For sure. Although I think they're like the only cool ones on the cast right now.
No.
Alex Moffat.
Alex Moffat's doing super good, man.
He's figuring it out. I don't like that other guy, Mickey Day or Mikey Day. Mickey Day.
I feel like he's probably a good
Why
writer,
is he in every scene?
Also, because I think he writes a bunch. Because he wrote in that Martin Short, Maya Rudolph.
Yeah, you always bring that up.
Because it was a funny sketch. He wrote one of those. I think I'm saying this, but this is just like we're assuming all these people's personality traits. I'm also assuming who writes what, and I have no idea, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I've never even met a celebrity. I saw Ellen DeGeneres once at a bar, like having lunch. And I was like, I'm not going up to her. And then I'm like, who would?
Yeah.
Like I would never want, even if I saw Chris Pratt at a party, I would never go up to him.
Well, you can't manifest things and then not take action.
No, I'm manifesting. I'm hoping that I'm just a bright light in his world.
This is, at least with the gems, the crystals,
the witch rocks,
the crystals. But you even said like I got one and I bought it for abundance, but then I was taking action subconsciously all the time.
Yes, you got to take action subconsciously.
Well, you got to do it at a party. If Chris Pratt's at the party,
Chris, I know you're listening. Come to Second City, 8 shows a week. Come fall in love. It'll be undeniable.
There's one, Jack McBrayer, who I've
met.
We hung out with him that night, and he was the coolest. That guy was the nicest guy on the planet. Because every once in a while at Second City, you'll get people that people know come do the set with you, and he came to the set, but he also stuck around and then went out with us after. He
wanted to hang out,
and we had a blast. He was so nice.
You know why I like Jack McBrayer? Because I was like, that guy likes being famous and rich a bit, and not in a bad way. Like he just was in
a way of like I didn't grow up in this. I like realize and I have self-realization that like, dude, this is happening to me, and this is awesome.
And he was like, Disney's paying for it. Whatever. Another round for me, I guess.
He was the best.
He was so cool.
On that note, too, that reminds me, too, I know that I'm doing sort of not celebrity, maybe like Tom Cruise style, but like Tim
Oh.
Baltz, my favorite.
We love Tim Baltz.
We love Tim Baltz.
Big Tim Baltz fan. Look him up if you don't know who he is.
Well, you'll see now because Shrink's out.
Go check out
he's got
Shrink,
his
you guys.
own show,
It's a really
which
good
is
show.
ridiculous. It's amazing.
Who was I going to say? I can't think of one now, but I'm really impressed with your celebrities. I mean,
I've been
you've
naming
really
all
gone
guys.
niche.
I'm trying to think of
I
like
know.
because it's kind of weird. Like,
Is there who's your biggest celebrity crush?
it's kind of weird. Oh my god, I'm
Is
having
she
a
niche?
brain
Do
fart.
people know?
Not at all niche. It's like one of those girls that was like, oh, everybody was in love with her at one time.
Carmen Electra.
No, sorry, she's from Party of Five. Party of Five girl.
Nev Campbell.
No.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yes.
That's so your girl too.
But it wasn't while it was the show was on.
I
It's
know.
because I ran into her a couple times. She was up here shooting a movie forever ago.
And you kept seeing her.
I kept seeing her, but like the first run in,
She's stunning.
she'll never remember this because it was just so brief or whatever. But like, everybody at our work was like, "She's in that store over there. You got to go say hi." And I was like, "Who cares?" And then when I walked in, I was like, you know those moments when you're like, "I saw an angel."
She was an angel for
I
you.
broke down and I was staring and I was like, "What is happening?" And then she looked up and caught me staring, and I realized at the wrong time this is a woman's clothing store. So I'm obviously there just to stare at her. And I picked up a
Jason.
piece of clothing from me and I started looking at it like, I folded it up, put it down. She was like, okay. But then the very next day, I was in that same area because I was at work and I was telling somebody about this and how embarrassing it was.
and then you saw her again.
No, realized she was only a step behind me and heard the whole story. She was walking with us and turned around and again she seemed to like just laugh at like the stupidity of it. And then I saw her a couple more times, but we never really connected.
But she kept like giggling and laughing. Like that could have been your life.
at how stupid I am. Yeah.
Maybe she thought you were charming. Maybe you pratted it.
Anyways, I saw her and I was like, "That's an angel. That's a beautiful woman."
She's stunning. And what is it? I know what you did last summer when she's like, "What do you want from me?" Just her huge boobs.
Never saw that movie.
I don't know if it would hold up.
Yeah.
That's like, you know who I saw? When I was in LA. I saw Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Oh, cool.
I feel like our listeners will be like, "What? Who? What show? I don't get it." I'm like Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. Google it. She's an icon. So I saw her and I was like, "You've aged so wonderfully." Like she saw me staring at her and and then she was just like, "Hi," and I was like, "Hi."
These people must get it all the time.
Of course, but here's the thing. I wouldn't want to be bothered. No, I lie. There was a listener that came to one of our shows. One of our lovely Regular Girls listeners came to see our show, We'll Be Better Tomorrow.
Oh, great.
And she brought her friends. And I think
she came to one of our shows. I think
you and
like
I.
a Second City show.
No, you and I.
Oh, that's
I've
super
had
nice.
listeners come to Second City,
Thanks
which is
for
great.
coming.
It was, well, I forced her to take a photo with her and her friends. I was like, "Can I get a photo?" Like she didn't even ask. She was so cool about it. And oh, sorry, I just got a text. And so yeah, I forced her to take a photo with me and her friends.
Where was I?
You had left. Yeah.
I'm the last one to leave.
No, you had gone. And so and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And she was way cooler than I was. Like I was like, "No," and Danielle, my good friend Danielle, took a photo with us and it was like so bizarre. But like when celebrities talk about how like they go to the bathroom and people are like
Yeah.
wanting an autograph or to talk to them, I'm like, that's bizarre.
Yeah, because I don't know who the person is that is asking for.
No.
Well, who asks for an autograph? Who wants an autograph anymore?
I don't think anyone does. I think they want a selfie.
Yeah, a selfie in the bathroom would be a little worse.
Hello. Just under the stall. Yoink. But yeah, I mean, anyways, Tiffany and Amber Thiessen, thanks for saying hi. So we're going to talk about our last sponsor, and then we're going to come back and talk about more conspiracy theories. What do you think about that? We'll end this little pod off with that.
Great.
Love it. Let's talk about our sponsor. Bye.
So our last sponsor for today's episode is Brook Linen. So you guys know that Renee and I have been talking so much about Brook Linen. Who knew you could get so emotional about sheets, but you can. So Brook Linen is an incredible company. They have literally the best, most comfortable sheets. I know that makes me sound like an old lady, but I'm telling you, it is true. Literally the best ones I've ever had. Super affordable. Brooklyn Brooklyn and Sheets were named the winner of the Best of Online Bedding category by Good Housekeeping, and it truly is super luxurious bedding, underpriced. It's so, so good. I just washed my sheets and they became even more soft. It's bananas. So Brooklinen's whole thing is that they were founded in April 2014 by husband and wife team Vicky and Rich. Their philosophy is to make the most beautiful, comfortable home essentials and no crazy prices. Because as you know, if you've ever tried to buy some sheets and bedding, it's incredibly expensive and it's not the most fun process. But Brooklinen is determined to change your opinion on that. And I have to agree. So Brooklinen is the fastest growing bedding brand in the world. Over 15,000 5-star reviews. I am one of them. I'm telling you, personally, these sheets are incredible. My Brooklinen sheets are the best. They're literally the most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I can't tell you enough. So brooklinen.com has an exclusive offer just for regular girls. You get $20 off and free shipping when you use our promo code regular at brooklinen.com. And Brooklinen is so confident that they offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. Did you hear that? A risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. So the only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use our promo code regular at brooklinen.com. So that's BROOKLINEN.com with our promo code regular. So treat yourself and get some sheets. Trust me.
And we're back. Jason, are you feeling like it's going well? You're nervous.
I'll say it's going well because the people that hear this
keep it red.
I'll say it's going well because the people that are still listening to this means it's going well.
Thanks for listening.
So if it wasn't going well, you're not listening right now anyways. You've already turned it off.
You're new to podcasts and you're just like, so it's just a conversation? I'm like, it's just a conversation.
I'm new to podcasts. Like I've guested on a few and they've been very, very fun to do. But you're right. Like I don't have my own podcast, but I listen to them. But some of them have like very specific things they're talking about or whatever.
And we've been noodling.
Just been like, hi, how's it going? Like this could be a regular Monday or Tuesday for us anyways.
I mean, it's true. I mean, we have been noodling with the idea of doing a comedy album, which maybe we should do.
We should. Well, yeah. Yes, we'll do that.
We'll do that. Okay, we hear it from you guys. We'll do it. So what I thought we would end with is, because some of our listeners really like, and I like, and you like, conspiracy theories, that we thought we would bookend this episode with talking about our favorite conspiracy theories. So I want you to tell me yours, and then I'll tell you mine.
My favorite conspiracy theory is...
take more blank space.
Well, I'm just trying to think
because
one thing that we've learned from this podcast is Jason goes red on the mic and also is slow to make decisions because everything feels like so important.
When you have a mic, it's all so important.
But it feels like a lot of the president assassinations and things like that.
Love those ones. I mean, obviously the death is tragic and terrible, but
yeah,
JFK,
but the JFK one. I just read about some stuff about it, and then you follow, and you're like, "Oh, that guy did jump up there," and like, who did shoot JFK?
Exactly.
Because what's his face just came out. Was it Quincy Jones in his older age? Did you not see this?
No.
It's pretty new. It happened a couple weeks ago, where he just came out and he goes, essentially goes, "You know what? I'm 70. Here's a bunch of truths."
What'd he say?
That he knows who killed JFK, and I believe he said it was a Chicago mobster. Again. Everyone's gonna go, no, that's not what it was, and I'm probably not right. I'd have to look it up again, but he basically was like, you have to read this monologue because he just went off on like,
really,
here's a bunch of things, and everyone was like, yeah, right. Either you're old and crazy or like stuff's getting leaked. Illuminati's at losing their mind.
Because anytime like I remember I was really obsessed with like when I was younger. You know those shows on like Showcase or whatever in Canada it's called Showcase. Is that something in the States, do you think? Anyways, but it would be like, who did Kurt Cobain really kill himself? Or like, how did Marilyn die? And it's just people like hypothesizing.
Yes.
I always love that stuff so much. And JFK, anything JFK, I'm like, let's unpack this. Because it just seems...
So do you think Kurt Cobain killed himself?
Well, I thought he did until I watched... I mean, again, I'm so gullible, but it was like, how could he have? There was so much like drugs in his system. How could he have pulled the trigger and like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, some people are saying that he wouldn't be able to reach that far on the gun that he had or whatever to get down to the trigger. And
then they were talking to like Dave Grohl or like the band Nirvana, and they were all like, they weren't going to say that he didn't, but they were just like, it's weird. And I was like, oh my God.
But maybe like Elvis, maybe Kurt Cobain's not dead.
Well, I don't think that's...
Tupac dead. Biggie Smalls dead.
I think so.
Is Sting dead?
Very much alive. Saw him on the red carpet with his wife. Sting's weird. His face is, both him and his wife just got like a tight, like just a snapback face.
The Pee Wee Herman tape back.
Because here's the thing. It's like, I mean, we're talking about conspiracy theories and now we're talking about aging in Hollywood, but like, I love when people like tighten their face so much in Hollywood.
Sting's
but
not Hollywood though, really, is he?
No, he's Hollywood. He's Hollywood, baby. But what I love is like these celebrities getting older and they're just snapping their faces back so tight, but they forget about their neck. So their neck is just like a full melted candle, but their cheeks are so tight. It's like, do it all. I don't judge it, but it's like, pull it all back. Get the chip clip on both sides.
Or just don't do it, man. You look great.
Meryl Streep is aging beautifully. Like, there's nothing wrong with aging.
There was a lot of like I only saw a bit of the Oscars last night, which might be a sin, but the Raptors were on. But it was like, it was great because there was a lot of older actors, and a lot of those older actors they were made like. There you go. My love for Judge Judy. I also have a love for like Frances McDormand. I mean, like that.
She looks amazing. She's doing like the no makeup look and like her.
So she's just like the coolest woman on the planet.
Did you see her speech?
I didn't see her.
So
speech.
she thanks her family and like her. I guess it was her son, and she's like, "I know you guys are proud of me." And it's like, maybe I made the implication that like they never tell her. It was just like a weird family, and I was like, they're probably weird at a restaurant. You know what I mean? Like all just like, is anyone ready to order? And they're like just silent. But she was really awesome. I think she's aging so great. It's like a resurgence now for her.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're completely off course with
Conspiracy theories.
So yours is JFK.
I think it's just like assassinations in general. Yeah.
I am obsessed with like anything Illuminati based. I'm also super obsessed with the Mandela effect because I think that that's so true.
I don't know what the Mandela effect
So Mandela effect is like, essentially it's like a blip.
Okay.
Like, it can be associated to time travel, but it's like something like there's books that say that Nelson Mandela
is a time traveler.
No, that he died and he was very much alive. But in these books, it said that he had died with like a date and how he died. There's also like the Berenstein Bears are now the Berenstein, or we call them Berenstein Bears, but they're called Berenstein Bears now. Where it's like, I don't remember that. Or like, Luke, I am your father. He actually didn't say that.
What do you mean? Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Not when you watch the movie. He does. He never says, Luke, I'm your father.
No, he says, I am your father.
Yeah. Also, like Sally Field when she won the Oscar.
Who says, Luke, I am your father?
No one. So it's like, how come that's it? Or like Sally Field.
I'm missing this then. You're just saying like the Berenstain Bears turn into Berenstein Bears.
Yeah. I'll load
But Luke, I am your father. I've never heard anybody say, Luke, I am your father.
Luke, I am your father?
I've never heard that before.
I am your father.
I've heard I am your father.
No, you haven't. You're being stupid now.
No, I'm not being stupid. No one says, Luke, I am your father.
Yes, they do.
I don't.
Well,
I've never heard that.
You've already been affected. 20 examples of the Mandela effect. So maybe it's a parallel universe or time travel, right? So these are the 20 best examples.
Or it's just shady memory.
Oscar Mayer isn't spelled the way you thought because I thought it was spelled like this, but apparently it's spelled Meyer. But now it's Mayer, which is crazy.
This isn't a time travel thing. This is just people's memories being a little foggy on things.
So Sex in the City opposed to Sex and the City.
What's the We Are the Champions one you just went by?
Oh, this is the Queen one. So many of those familiar with the song remember the final lyrics being "No time for losers because we are the champions of the world." Guess what? There is no of the world. The song just ends, and it's driving people crazy because they feel 100% sure that they've heard that line. So of course we are the champions of the world. Like of course I remember that.
You do say of the world,
but they're saying that that's not in the song. I sang of the world, of course.
It is in the song.
They're saying it's not.
But we could just look up the song.
We will. The Berenstein Bears are actually called the Berenstain Bears. That's crazy. And what's crazy is there are people who have books spelt like how I remember it, and then there's new books that are printed with a different thing, which is crazy. Curious George never had a tail. Let's see another one. Darth Vader doesn't say, Luke, I am your father.
I've never heard Luke, I am your father, for real.
C3PO isn't all gold. Weird. Never knew that. There said, people think the Mona Lisa is smiling now, but she used to be emotionless.
No, she's known for being emotionless.
Okay, here's the one that I love. People remember Sinbad being in a genie movie from the 90s called Shazam.
No, that's Shaquille O'Neal.
No, but I remember it being Sinbad. I know.
No, that's Shaquille O'Neal.
No, but I remember specifically Sinbad being in a genie movie, and I was
that's just because his name's Sinbad.
No. Okay. It seems that the majority of people confidently remember Forrest Gump saying that his mama always said life is like a box of chocolates, but in the movie he says life was like a box of chocolates. Crazy.
No, he doesn't.
Hannibal Lecter never said hello, Clarice.
Interview with a vampire.
Interview with a Vampire isn't called Interview with a Vampire. It's actually Interview with a Vampire. Weird. The Queen from Snow White never said mirror, mirror on the wall. Like, I'm just telling you, the Mandela effect is super crazy.
Wow.
Wow. We've really shocked him here.
No, because I don't, but it's crazy that out of all the conspiracy theories, this is the one you find the most. These are all just spellings of words and like we remember things wrong.
No, but I think the Mandela
like
effect is
time
real.
travel and stuff like that. Like anything that would do with that is very interesting to me.
I wouldn't say the Mandela effect is my favorite one. I think it's the one that I find most interesting. But but like anything with like the Illuminati.
So like, do you believe that there's stuff in like the Denver airport?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
the Denver airport, like even Renee and I have talked about it on previous podcasts, and Renee was like, yeah, even being in the Denver airport is a weird vibe. And I've heard that from many people. The person who made the horse from the Denver airport was killed by the horse.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's like the guy that made Segways.
The Segway killed him.
He rode off the side and died.
Wow. Mandela effect. But I think, the Denver airport's such a crazy conspiracy theory. I love talking about the moon landing. That's so interesting to me. But the Illuminati I find interesting. Like celebrities covering like.
But there's motivation and everything to it. All of those have motivation.
But like
the Mandela effect doesn't have motivation.
Well, you got to look more into it. I didn't present it properly, but I'll send you some stuff that I'm like, well, that's so crazy. But
and you guys at home can go look it up as well.
And they do. They love conspiracy theories.
Maybe it's called the Mandela effect, or maybe it's called
the Mandela experience.
Maybe it's called something else.
Who knows?
Who knows? We don't remember.
But it's really great. And what else? Like they say, like the day that Caitlyn Jenner was on the Vanity Fair cover.
Yeah.
That like so many things were passed in the government and like no one really knew about them. That's
my most interesting one. I do believe that we are definitely always being like smoke showed.
For sure.
I believe that Donald Trump is a smoke show.
Probably.
And that's not I don't think a big theory. Everyone knows like he just does 100 things because it doesn't matter. Rich people are getting richer.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter.
The parity grows and it don't matter.
I know.
So he can pass whatever laws he wants, but we're all just worried about like what he tweets about, and that's all a smoke show.
It's crazy. Well, Jason, we really did it. It flew by.
It did fly by.
How did you find your Regular Girls experience?
Great. This is awesome. I mean, like...
You like it? We're sitting on a nice couch. We had a bunch of plants around us. It's a really nice vibe.
I thought for real I was going to be doing my taxes this afternoon, and now I'm sitting on a couch...
Not doing your taxes.
Having a good time.
Well, Jason, we're going to figure out your Twitter so we can get people to follow you. And come to the Toronto Fringe this summer. We're doing our show Will Be Better Tomorrow. You guys can come see it. We don't know the days. We haven't been given. But
it is, in June.
Happening.
It's going to be great.
June, it's happening. It's going to be great. Jason, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the pod. Thank you so much to our sponsors. And guys, if you like our sponsors, let us know. Use them, buy them. Let us know what you guys want for future episodes. We are always down to listen. And I'll see you guys next week with Renee. Bye.